No, Fiber Channel is not dead. 25 gig.
25 gig.
So is this out? Is this coming? Where are we with 25 gig?
So it's definitely still in the coming category, but
Right.
part of what I love about it is I call it the holy trifecta of opportunity. So, we all sit back in these businesses and try and guess 2-3 years out where the market's going, what the trends are going to be. So good news is we've got a part at the right time in the right place of the market. The second best thing is Intel's out of position because they don't have a 25 gig platform. They've missed this transition. And the third is that it's in the fastest growing segment of the market in this cloud, new hyperscale converged infrastructure area. So, it really is a unique opportunity, right place, right time. And we see that as one of the biggest changers for this game going forward. Because when you look at how these cloud guys and how these converged infrastructure guys are deploying, they're not as concerned about the backwards compatibility to 10 gig that you'll see in the enterprise or some of the telco or MSP markets. So good timing, and they're deploying it in fixed configurations where they don't have to worry about as much of the legacy support as they have in the past.
Yeah, that is a really interesting idea where, where the software-defined storage guys and they're building this box, and that I hadn't actually thought about the fact that they don't have to worry about backwards compatibility, right? So they can just put these boxes together like that. And so I guess it is a perfect use case for building this predefined configuration, it sounds like.
It is, and when you look at what's happening with the whole software-defined area, you're getting very, very specific demands and the ability to change the nature of how storage is used. So as we move into object-based storage, as we move into more file-based storage, what we're seeing is that people like the transition from 10 to 25 because it's still a single lane cable plant versus going to 40 where you've got the quadplex of cables and optics and that cost infrastructure. Second is that when you're dealing with this new class of software-defined storage, things like RDMA, whether it's iWarp or Rocky, things like ICER with RDMA over iSCSI, the move to predominantly Ethernet driven, and the ability to have configurations that change personalities on the card just as the software can change the personality of the storage architecture. Those two things align very well in the market, and we think we're well positioned to participate in that segment.
So as this world, there was a time when it was just block, and there was and then there was a world where the whole NAS world sort of took over, and that has a giant segment of the market. And now there's another segment with object, right? So how do you play, in that increasingly different world?
Sure. So this kind of goes back again to the whole software-defined thing. One of the things about our card is a very programmable architecture. So when you look at our card, we have the ability to partition it into 16 virtual devices. So you can have one card that is set up optimized for object and file-based storage. So what does that mean? It means that we're going to look at longer block sizes. We're going to go with RDMA type drivers in terms of moving transport. We're going to have different quality of service parameters for that versus a block transactional thing where the application's sitting back waiting. And for me, one of the best examples that we've seen of that is Netflix. So if you go to Netflix and you say, okay, great, I want to watch a movie. Well, there's a credit card back-end transaction that happens, and that's in FCOE or iSCSI, and it's very, very specific. In-order delivery must be exactly the same way, and that sort of thing. On the delivery of the film side, out the delivery mechanism, we first have to look at what's the network. Are you on 2G, 3G, 4G, cable? Are you using some other satellite system? Are we delivering to a phone, an iPad, a television? Is it standard def? Is it high performance? Ironically, we actually slow down and change the packet pacing depending on that. And when you talk about the delivery of object and file in the cloud, it's more about understanding the infrastructure of what you're delivering to and the ability of the hardware to migrate to that personality of each delivery mechanism and do that concurrently on the same piece of hardware.
Pretty impressive.
It's a lot of fun, and as you and I were sort of chatting a little bit about this, I mean, to a certain extent, it is still the plumbing infrastructure, but it's really damn good plumbing. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Shaun from Qlogic. Make sure to check out our other videos on Tribit TV, and also subscribe to our channel while you're at it. Thanks for watching.